Number 15. Creature sightings. Unless you're touring abandoned asylums or reputably haunted sites, you probably wouldn't expect to capture anything mysterious on camera, but this individual did just that. This video has been making the rounds all over the internet, and we tracked it down to its original source, published to YouTube in January of 2019. JJPD Producciones writes, Mr. Luis Reyes was traveling to Nicaragua for the first time. He went on a tour of tourist areas of the country, specifically to the Tizcapa viewpoint. He recorded the landscape, but did not expect to capture what you will see next. What you see looks like a giant crab insect or alien-like creature, maybe all three combined. The creature is standing on a rooftop, then it walks to the edge and jumps over to a courtyard, out of sight. While many congratulate the uploader on the special effects, some are willing to suspend their disbelief, but upon further investigation, it appears this channel specializes in special effects. So my explanation for this video is that, while it's quite scary, it's most likely CGI. Reets Boy records what he thinks is a rare creature sighting, and while I think he might be right, I would like your help to confirm. Some of the dogs in his neighborhood are going crazy, so he zooms in on where they're barking and just barely makes out this figure possibly watching from afar. At 38 seconds, you get a much better look when he zooms in.
Bro, do you see it?
It's hard to tell for sure, but I think something is definitely there, and it kind of looks like the upper half of a shadow person. Fear suddenly overcomes Reets Boy, and he runs back inside before it gets any closer. Definitely the smart choice. What is this creepy figure skulking in the darkness? The group encountered the creature at night hiding behind a pile of logs.
Have this. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on.
The figure appears like a woman, but not quite human. Take a closer look. Is this an extraterrestrial? A ghost, perhaps? Your guess is as good as mine. This video was taken in Akron, Ohio by two teenagers while driving past a cemetery on their work break.
She was the head of the army, Rian.
She is getting down there. Super weird.
A ghoulish, dark figure is surrounded by fresh dirt, as it apparently is digging up something in the cemetery. Possibly its next meal. The stunned friends stop to watch it for a while longer before driving off and uploading the video later. They have no idea what it could be, and neither do I. I was also unable to find any news stories of grave disturbances in Akron, further making me believe this may not have happened. Then again, maybe this incident was buried by the local authorities for whatever reason. Either way, let me know if you think these friends really saw something, or if they are part of an internet hoax. Number 14. Strange lights phenomena. A YouTuber named RJFD gets a phone call from a friend, telling him to look at the sky. He goes outside and doesn't really see anything at first. It sounds like thousands of fireworks going off at once, but this is late at night in the middle of winter in small-town Michigan, so that doesn't make sense. There were no fireworks planned at all. Then the entire sky changes color.
What is that?
If fireworks is truly not the answer, then the only other explanation I have is some sort of strange weather phenomenon. Let me know if you think you have a logical reason for what's going on here, because I'm really not sure, and neither is anyone in the comments section of this video. This individual sees strange sightings in the sky. creepy stuff hidden in front of our eyes, as she puts it. It would be easy to dismiss her notions as outlandish, except for one thing. She can back up her claims. You see, Sheila has caught weird things on camera. She zooms into the trees to find a creepy pale face with round black eyes staring back at her from the treetops. This could be a balloon or something else stuck in the tree, but it's far from the only bizarre thing she's caught on camera near her house. A short time later, she finds this odd light not too far from where she saw the face. Two other lights are spotted in the sky in an odd formation that soon blinks away. Together, they do seem to, once connected, possibly form the outer perimeter of a much larger disc-like object. What are these strange silent objects that glow and grow? The unexplained lights do not look like a helicopter and have no trail of a spotlight, so what could they be? This unidentified flying object was captured at a caravan site in Thirsk, Yorkshire by Redditor C. Holly Molly. The Redditor notes that at least 7 people witnessed it, and it didn't make any noise. The weather was also normal and dry. The video goes on for a minute and a half. Some in the comments call this super interesting, while others say it might be planes or ball lightning. One Redditor shares some helpful observations. What do you think? Are these lights mounted on an invisible, unidentified flying object? I have no idea what else this could be, so I'll confirm that this is the mothership. Mysterious, unexplained lights were recently sighted over Brazil, just north of Rio de Janeiro. The diagonal formation of strange lights stretches into the night sky and blinks in and out of sight. It's not a constellation because there are no stars in the sky. Just these strange, unexplained lights that slowly move to the right and glow a fierce red when the camera zooms in. As the camera moves across the city to show there are no stars, they see more strange lights in the sky. These ones closer to Earth, a large column of lights at 56 seconds that should not be there at all. It looks like it could be a building, but according to them it's not. More lights seem to drop and lower to the ground, but it's too far away to tell. When he zooms out, he is surprised to find most of the skylights are already gone. This happened on June 24th of 2020, and if you're wondering why I was never reported on the news, maybe it's because we were never supposed to find out. Number 13. Haunted Toy Encounters. A mysterious and creepy video of a seemingly haunted stuffed toy moving on its own has this woman so freaked out that she's probably going to cry. The woman is busy looking at her phone when the object moves towards her multiple times, stopping every time she glances up. Each time its movements are so slight that she's not even sure if the object is really moving or not. At 3 minutes and 19 seconds, she grabs the stuffed toy and brings it near, but less than a minute later, the possessed toy flings itself across the bench, and she runs away screaming. I want to say that this video is fake, but you can see the entire room, so if it was someone holding a string, I'm not sure where they would be standing. 2 friends are down in the basement when suddenly a third friend wants to join in. The only problem is, this playmate is not even human.
Hi, it's Huh? Hi, it's Barty. What the heck?
An old toy suddenly starts saying hello to them over and over. As soon as they get near, not only did it somehow turn on all by itself, but this is also apparently the first time it has ever been thought of in years. The batteries for this abandoned toy should have been drained long ago. The description for this video says that they have been regularly hearing loud banging noises in the basement, which is probably why they came downstairs in the first place. It's also extremely unnerving that, out of all of the possible sound effects, it chooses to keep saying hi over and over. Omar Vassell and his friend are having a very strange problem in the toy section of Target. I will let them explain everything in a moment, but let's just say one of the toys seems to be a little too active.
What is that? toy does not go off, and this toy does not go off, but the center toy goes off. Soft, my hand's over here, bow, toy goes off. Just watch. What is that? Like, please tell me what that is. America, please.
Maybe the batteries are depleted in all of the toys except for the one in the middle, but that still doesn't explain why it would go off when the other toys are touched. I feel like this video could have an obvious explanation that I'm not thinking of, so if you recognize these toys, or if you know anything about the toy manufacturing or design in general, then please let me know how this could possibly happen. This grainy video, taken in a dark room just outside of the kitchen, shows a children's toy suddenly glide forward on its own without warning. The quality of the video is not very good, but then again it was taken in 2010 and seems about right for camera phones of that time. As for why the camera was set up in that spot to begin with, I'm not sure. Maybe they have been experiencing paranormal activity in this area of the house and wanted to record it for proof. Either way, there's still enough light spilling in from the kitchen to show a string on the ground if there was one. I can't see one, and therefore I think there's a strong possibility that this video could be absolutely real. Number 12. Strange lights phenomena. A man in New Zealand is stopped at a gas station when this orange light rips by overhead in a perfect arc. It was accompanied by a high-pitched sound that broke the audio on his camera and hurt his ears. I don't think that it's car headlights because it approaches from a weird angle, plus the way it moves is far from normal. Orange orbs is how one witness describes this unexplained video of light spotted in the sky. Posted on January 16th, 2021, the bizarre sight was caught on Snapchat video hovering over the Bronx. What looks to be a starlit sky is anything but, as these mysterious stars start shifting in one direction as a single unit. I thought I heard creepy sounds coming from the sky too, as it passes, but I think it's traffic.
Those things are orange. Look at them. Next to each other. They literally fly next to each other. They orange in color. They look like stars. Look at that. It's a triangle.
When you connect the points together, you can see he is right. The mysterious lights do seem to form a bizarre triangular shape in the sky. This observation makes me suspect that this strange sighting could be a government experiment. The outline looks like the same shape as the fabled Aurora project, but why the designers would put large visible lights on a stealth aircraft doesn't make sense, so that must not be what this is. The person recording is stunned beyond belief and turns to some strangers to talk about the encounter.
You guys know what that is? See that? Yo nunca he visto eso. Es una cosa anaranjada en triángulo. Mira cómo vuelan. No hacen sonido.
2 seconds later, the lights mysteriously change color, and one of them goes away completely. They continue hovering over a building for some time, and then the video ends before we get a chance to see if it lands or what. I'm not sure what to make of this mystery, and neither is anyone else who watched this video. Information is tight, and I couldn't find any other videos, but one person living in the Bronx says there were actually 5 points in the sky when they saw it. Another person claims to have seen the same thing 7 years ago in Virginia. But like I said, there's no video evidence besides this. The way the lights change colors makes me wonder if this is a drone. Apparently drones must have different color lights to indicate when they are changing directions according to the law, so people could be piloting them in a formation from the top of the building, or maybe we've just been visited and now they're here. What are these strange so-called light balls that keep setting this Redditor's cameras off? Redditor Spambone is wondering if the Reddit community has any theories. Well, let's see what we can come up with as well. Let's take a look. This goes on for 2 minutes. Sometimes 2 light balls appear simultaneously. Some say it's obviously a bug, others think it's a web of some kind. Still others say it's a laser pointer or a reflection of some other light source. Practically no one thinks this is an orb or paranormal in any way, and neither do I. I'm firmly in the spider or cobweb camp. What do you think it is? Is this Tinkerbell? Redditor FlickMe666 would like to put their friend's mind at ease. The Redditor's friend captured this strange figure on their CCTV, and although they initially thought it was a bug, its glow looks pretty intense. The Redditor asks other Redditors what they think it might be, and they have answers. But Redditor Corbin Kangaroo has probably the most logical answer. The more I look at it, the more I think this is probably on the right track, but I'm still hoping it's Tinkerbell. Number 11. UFO encounters. A strange sky sighting was caught on camera flying over Bavaria, Germany in broad daylight. I noticed some weird things about the audio, but first, try and translate this mysterious conversation from German to English if you can. I know that 9 means no, but I don't understand what was being asked. Anyway, aside from that, listen again to the weird noise that the object itself makes. I guess it kind of looks like it could be a jet plane, but the wings are too big and it really doesn't sound like one. Tell me if you think this was an experimental aircraft caught on tape or a strange sky sighting of something from another solar system. This is not a drone caught on video, but at the same time I'm curious as to what this actually is. This odd and mysterious sighting in the sky has been viewed online by hundreds of people who have been unable to provide a proper explanation. The strange object floats from behind a tree and travels very fast. The oddly long shape does not look like a drone sighting to me, and it doesn't have any lights or identifying features. It's too far away to tell what it is for sure, but at the same time, it's close enough to tell that it's beyond creepy. This video was supposedly taken somewhere in Arizona in 1997. It was later found in an abandoned police station according to the description. The large group is walking towards a bright light in the horizon, and it almost looks as if there has recently been a large crash. As they get closer, this alien-looking creature emerges and takes a few steps before noticing their presence. A giant beam of light bursts from its chest, and the group runs off before we can see what happens next. I'm not sure if this was a costume or not. I wish we got a closer look at the alien, but from this distance, I'd say there is a possibility that this video could be real. If you were awoken by vibrations, what would you think was happening? Published by YB Normal in January of 2012, a hotel guest awoke to something reverberating throughout his room in Beijing and reported hearing spine-chilling sounds. Grabbing hold of his camera, he went to the window where he spotted 3 unidentified flying objects in the sky. The dark saucers can be seen in a triangular formation in the distance, while in the background you can hear the disturbing noise that must have woken him. It's one deep, long, vibrating note, like the sound of something hovering. The camera zooms in on the saucers before the video turns off unexpectedly. The uploader says the camera stopped functioning for no reason. Are these extraterrestrials simply observing us Earthlings? Or are they trying to scare us with sleep deprivation? Number 10. Animal encounters. This YouTuber is trapped. The hungry beast shreds his backpack and smells more supplies up this tree. All it needs to do is get through this pesky human first.
Stay there. Down there.
Amazingly, the bear does as told and goes back down upon the hunter's request. I guess seeing a human talk up close like that must have freaked it out because the animal runs away before chancing a look back at the backpack laying on the ground and deciding against it. Of all the weird things I've ever seen caught on camera in the woods, this has to be one of the weirdest and scariest videos ever because there's no doubt it's absolutely real. These campers aren't going to get any more sleep tonight. Posted to TikTok by Eagle Trindade. One camper opens their tent flap to reveal 4 enormous crocodiles waiting just outside their door. And that's not even the scariest part. At least a dozen pairs of eyes are gleaming in the darkness. The man closes the tent flap as if that weak nylon and polyester is going to save him from this army of chompers. While some in the comments are saying this is more terrifying than a horror movie. Others are just wondering how these guys made it out of their tent. Are these crocodiles just trying to get warm? Or are they out for a midnight snack?
Ah, meu Deus do céu! Vocês estão entendendo o quanto de jacaré tem aqui? Eu estou na barraca, literalmente para acampar. Vamos dormir aqui igual? Eu vou.
Who would win in a swamp fight, a deer or an alligator? You're about to see. Published by Hazy Season in June of 2019. This scary video was captured at Squaw Creek Reservoir in Glen Rose, Texas. At first, the fisherman thinks he's looking at a huge fish.
Look at those. What is that? Is that a dead fish?
But as he gets closer, he realizes it's a deer in the water. The deer is no longer alive and it's being pulled down into the water's depths.
Looks like a deer, dude. It's a dead deer. Holy
By something that is so far unseen. The crew is wondering what's gotten hold of it. They watch for a moment and soon realize a gator's got him. They then let nature take its course.
dude, what happened? Did it just like fall down this hill? Holy.
Or is it? It's fine.
Although we probably all could have guessed that the gator would win this battle, I'm sure we were all rooting for the underdog. Number 9. Mysterious creatures unveiled. This short video will send you running for the hills. Posted to Instagram by para_noid_normal. This video shows a woman tearing down an alleyway in fear. A second later, you see why. What is that creature? Those in the comments have some theories. After creeping down the alleyway, she lays on the ground for some reason and doesn't get up again. Then she simply disappears. In my opinion, the creature looks like a skinwalker. What do you think? The jinn is back. That's right, the shape-shifting creature of Arabic mythology that is said to have the capacity to possess humans is yet again making an appearance in this clip. Hassan Barbar believes he's caught one on camera. Posted in January of 2020 on YouTube, he writes in Arabic, "I've never seen a jinn before." Outside of a stone building, the man captures something on film peering out at him from behind a palm tree. It pokes its head out briefly before drawing back into hiding. As he approaches the palm tree, you can hear movement coming from within it. He continues to wander around the premises until he starts to hear something swinging. Turning the camera towards the sound, he finds an old swing set. One swing flings back and forth, though no one is there to push it, nor does the night appear at all windy, as the trees remain unmoving. A short while later, when he is in front of the entryway to the building, a window pane slides closed. Again, it appears as though no one is there to close it. Do you believe in jinn? This video has me creeped out to the max. Luxi is investigating a purportedly haunted cemetery. As they approach the area, they find a lifeless animal near a tree.
Todo lo que hay gualichos. Acá pueden ver, pueden corroborar que hay un animal, miren, un animal muerto también, de los gualichos que se hacen acá en esta zona. ¿Lo puede levantar, por favor? Sí. ¿Ve? Este animal.
He captures some of the tombs on video.
Puede ver uno de los... Allá atrás se puede apreciar, no sé si alcanza la toma de mi celular, porque mi celular es un celular muy bajo en resolución, pero bueno, vamos a caminar a ver si podemos ver algo.
And then he and his entire extended family continue walking until they see what they came for.
Mirá, 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 mirá. Por ahí, mirá. No, esto de no creer, esto de no creer, vamos. Corran. La verdad que no me lo podía esperar.
Did you see that figure? The figure in white appears very small and moves slowly through the tall grass. After putting some distance between them and the mysterious creature, the cameraman turns around to capture one last glimpse.
Ahí se ve. La verdad que se mueve, está en movimiento. La verdad que Jesús de Nazaret. No, vamos, corran. Agarrá al nene.
Is it a witch? A ghost? The YouTuber believes it's an elf. I'm wondering if he might be on the right track, but in that case, why not stick around to see if it's good or evil? YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to enter the Devil's Cave, and what they will witness here may change them forever. The guys seem rattled as they approach the cave, and you'll see they have reason to be.
¿Oíste?
Uy, ya fue adentro.
¿Fue adentro? Verga, gente. No mames, se oyó aquí en corto.
Ya, se puede ir. Si fue adentro, fue adentro.
Oh, chingos, a tu madre.
A la verga, vete a la verga.
Pendejo, pendejo.
Let's take another look at what they saw. It looks like a faceless being. As they rush away through the jungle, they catch another creature in their purview.
Bueno, ¿dónde va tu marido?
Did you see that? Here it is again, slowly this time. There is definitely a figure standing there, but is it the devil? A third capture seems to blur the lines even more. What are these figures? I'm not sure if they're demons, skinwalkers, or the devil himself, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to get a closer look. A YouTuber named Battery Phil is exploring a cave in Jamestown, Arkansas, and taking a random video with a small keychain video camera. His friend once told him that he had seen a reptilian face suddenly appear in front of him while down here before. But Battery Phil doesn't exactly believe him. So imagine his surprise when he looked at this video much later and saw this creature looking straight at him. Look closely and you can make out the semi-intelligent gaze of a humanoid creature with a single brown eye, a flat nose, and a thin expressionless line for a mouth. It's there for only a moment and then gone. Of course, this could also just be a random rock formation that just happens to somewhat look like a face. I will say that the eye looks extremely realistic above all else, however, so I'm just not sure what to think. Number 8. Cemetery Encounters. I found a YouTube channel called Phantasma House Paranormal that I think needs to get more attention because of how creepy their investigations are. Take this cemetery exploration in the UK for example. They wanted to find out if this cemetery is as haunted as people claim, so they set up paranormal tracking equipment, and after a while the answer becomes an obvious yes. Their first sighting happens so fast, so watch closely.
Can you show me again?
At 2 minutes and 4 seconds, it looks like this ghost is sitting on the roof of the church. There's absolutely nothing there that resembles an actual person, so I don't think it is a glitch. And when he talks to the ghost, it appears at the door directly under the roof it was just sitting on, like it jumped down to greet him. At 2 minutes and 36 seconds, the ghost walks away from the door, and 10 seconds later it's standing behind him. It wiggles around in front of him for a bit, and then sits back down like it was on the roof. When he looks at it from a different angle, it still appears to be sitting on a marker, which is creepy to think about, a ghost sitting on their own grave. Soon spirits gather all around him in objects that don't resemble a person, and therefore should not be setting off his equipment, yet they do. At one point, the ghost even walks down the steps. He reaches an overgrown portion of the cemetery in the back that's eerie to explore, even in the middle of the day, and he switches on a ghost listening device. What he hears next leaves him scared.
Say something now? I dare you.
Disrespectful.
Okay, so tell me what you make of that. It could be a ghost scolding him, which is terrifying, but I feel like the app could be listening to his mic and will say certain things in response. In other words, I don't know if that was really supernatural or if it was a pre-programmed response to the phrase, I dare you. Here it is again.
Say something now? I dare you.
Disrespectful.
This haunting video of a woman in a cemetery is creepy beyond all belief. She thinks she's alone and the cemetery looks as empty as can be, but somewhere a child is heard screaming. She never shows what's going on in front of her, but that's because the screams are clearly coming from behind. She aims the camera down that way and only finds row after row of markers. No one is there, and yet the scary voices prevail. This one has to be paranormal in my opinion. Published in July of 2020, the Urban Ghosts Urban Exploration team took the Randonautica app on a wild ride intended to lead them into places unknown. But somehow, for this team, the random destination was all too familiar. The app wound up taking them to a haunted cemetery that they'd explored 2 years prior. Joe explains that this is a bike park winding back into a cemetery deep into some heavy woods. During their last visit, they'd been scared out of it by what they thought was a bear. At one point, while looking at a grave in the fenced-in cemetery,
these are so old. You can kind of make it out.
Whispering is heard in the background. All of Patty's batteries, which were fully charged, are now completely empty. When they fire up the spirit box, the spirit immediately says the name Joe. When asked if there's something they're supposed to find here, the spirit answers, near you. Joe feels like they're being watched. They keep hearing a man's voice coming from all directions. Rob, who's taking still images, also captures strange mists that appear in only some photographs. But the scariest find the team discovers in this haunted cemetery is a jewelry box on the ground. After misplacing it, they speak to the spirits through the spirit box again to see what's become of it. The spirit says Curtis.
It said Kurt. What did the box say again? Something.
Later, they happen upon the carved jewelry box, which has somehow been placed ahead of them on the path, and find the inscription Curtis carved into it. Who is Curtis and what's in the box? These questions are going to keep me up all night. Here's my general advice for this video. Do not watch it alone. Posted to TikTok by elkakoi.tv, a man is walking through a cemetery that's been around for about 3 decades. Fairly new for a cemetery. It's not clear if he's entered the hallway of a mausoleum, but he's in the interior of a building. The sun shines into the corridor periodically, and you can hear a mysterious wailing in the distance.
Sí se ve algo tenebroso, pero pues supongo que así son todos los... ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué es eso?
As he continues down the hallway, he can see a boy at the far end of it. He calls out to him. He keeps addressing the child as he approaches him, but the child doesn't respond.
Niño. Niño, ¿quién eres?
Then suddenly, the cameraman turns around and starts running in the opposite direction while reciting a prayer.
Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre.
Seems like an overreaction, but look closer. As many in the comments note, the child does not look like a normal child at all. Some think it looks like a demon, either growing bigger or rising from the ground. When it turns, the cameraman realizes it isn't a normal child. Some in the comments are suggesting that the figure is a duende, which is a folkloric humanoid figure, like a gnome. Is it truly a duende or some other mischievous creature? Or are we thinking too positively? And it truly is a demon. Number 7. Humanoid encounters. This CCTV video captures a large figure lurking beneath a bush on an empty street. It's hard to tell what it is at first, until the camera zooms in for a better look. Some kind of humanoid is low to the ground, as if waiting to grab someone. Anyone who walks by. It looks like it could be a person, until it dips its head from the shadows at 1 minute and 58 seconds, to reveal an upsettingly long face with large, gnashing jaws. The way it repeatedly moves side to side looks like it's probably just a looping animated sequence, but what's your take? This footage comes to us from Holland. A group of friends are exploring a park and decide to visit some watchtowers from World War II. The towers are closed for vandalism and it looks like their trip is over. Little did they know they were about to see something much more interesting than a cluster of abandoned towers could ever be.
Ah, even daar man. Die kerel, dat is echt die wilde zwijn hoor. Kijk dan. What the fuck is dat? Hey! Kerel, hey!
A large black figure is observing their movements from somewhere in the distance. It looks like it is trying to hide behind a tree, which shows that it has some level of intelligence, but it does a poor job and gets spotted immediately. They began shouting for the humanoid to come out. Suddenly, a series of banging noises fills the forest and sends them running. When one of them enhances the camera footage, this is what they find glaring at them. Then again, I guess it's hard to glare at someone when you have no face. Whatever this humanoid was doing, it looked like it was up to trouble. The group might have been easily attacked if they didn't try to scare it off. This video could very well be proof that the humanoid kingdom extends into the insect world. At first glance, this video appears to be a firefly or some similar sort of bug, but when slowed down frame by frame, you can clearly see that this is not a bug at all, but rather appears to be a tiny winged humanoid. The video shows an insect-like humanoid with clearly discernible arms and legs. Unlike most bugs, this humanoid only has 4 limbs, and the arms appear to be twice as short as the legs, much like a person. There's simply no insect on Earth like it. It's just too bad the lighting conditions don't provide more detail, because it would have been interesting to see more of its face and overall color patterns. Exactly where this video was shot is not known. Two friends are feeding their pet rabbits in the living room when they suddenly hear a mysterious noise coming from outside. Both of them are feeling pretty brave as they creep up the window and continue recording. As tough as they might be, neither of them are prepared for what they see next.
There's something crouching down there. Yeah, could you get the light? What? Yeah. What? Yeah, there's nothing back there.
Outside, some sort of orange four-legged humanoid is facing away from them. It's very low to the ground. Look directly under the clothesline if you can't see it. It's a strange glowing color that doesn't seem to belong in this world. Play the tape again in slow motion and you can clearly see the humanoid sprint away as soon as one of them knocks on the window to get its attention. It's clearly startled as it retreats over a fence with a speed too fast for its bulky body. The two of them rush out in the backyard for a fight, but they find that the creature is already gone. They check a nearby alley and quickly give up. Nobody was hurt. As for what the humanoid was doing, perhaps it smelled the scent of 2 rabbits and went in search of a fresh meal. Number 6. Intruder alert. A YouTuber named Outside sets up a home security camera and catches his very own neighbor rifling through his cabinets and refrigerator. The man is in and out of the house in less than 2 minutes after taking a number of canned drinks and other items. As these still frames show, the neighbor gains entrance through a window and then starts walking around like they own the place. It's both sad and scary to think that this YouTuber's own neighbor was waiting for him to leave every day just to take advantage of him. Videos like these show that sometimes the people closest to you are the ones least worthy of your trust. It's 3 in the morning when a YouTuber named QTube hears a knock at his door. He begins recording for his own safety and debates whether or not he should even look outside. Whoever knocked must have immediately ran away and left a package for him to open, which he soon does. I was half expecting some kind of rigged device or something like that, but what's really inside is just as weird. If this video is to be believed, then someone woke up QTube in the middle of the night for no other reason than to give him a pizza box with a gummy pizza inside. It's either the work of someone with a bizarre sense of humor or else totally insane. The whole event leaves QTube cautious and confused. Prank or not, he doesn't exactly seem thrilled about being the target of someone in the middle of the night, and I can't say I blame him. Let me know if you think this was just a harmless joke, or if the next home delivery is going to be much worse. A YouTuber named Bria Studolo says that she installed a security camera, specifically due to this problem neighbor. The man walks up to her home and, according to Brie, starts watching her through the window. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I do think it's strange that he stands on her front door for over half a minute without knocking. According to Brie, he makes eye contact with her through the window and then begins frantically knocking to cover up his actions. He says he needs to use her backyard to get to a breaker box that they share. The only thing is that there is an easier route to take to the breaker box that's not through her backyard in the dark, so this could just be a made-up excuse. She claims that he has taken pictures of her through the window before, and I do find it weird that he takes his phone out moments before he is discovered. Based on this video, let me know what you make of this situation, and how much danger you think Brie was actually in. A YouTuber named Dagger Production is playing the remastered Call of Duty when he hears someone messing with the entrance to his house. According to Dagger Productions, this is the exact moment the encounter began. Listen closely to this part and you'll hear what sounds like the front door slamming as the person runs away. It sounds like the door slams from the other side of the house, but Dagger Productions returns to his room a second later. He wouldn't be able to slam the far door and get back to the camera that fast if he was just making this up. Number 5. Ghost Hunter Chronicles. This ghost hunter should really be looking behind him. Published by Find Ghost in December of 2021, a man stands in the wilderness holding something and addressing what's in front of him. He is oblivious to what's behind him. A djinn appears, transparent at first, but then more solid looking. The djinn stays only for a moment before gradually vanishing again. The moral of the story? Sometimes what you're looking for is right over your shoulder. These ghost hunters become the hunted in this haunted ghost encounter, published by Wo Cuyahoga Official in September of 2021. Assad and crew hunt for ghosts in this paranormal show, and they don't come up empty-handed. They start to hear noises in this haunted place, and then see a dark figure lurking just out of sight. As they continue in their search, a pile of bricks is pushed from one of the walls.
Oh, no.
Something is later rattling the doorway. And as they get closer, they hear a growl from behind them. After hearing something behind them again, one of the crew gets taken. When they race into the room, no one is there, but they see something flicker past while peering through a hole in the wall of the room. They later come across more substantial evidence that something has been stalking them all along. A figure is standing in one of the structure's many rooms. They back out and the figure is gone, but another appears, this one in a pink robe. They pursue her and later find another figure. Standing in the opposite direction, only this time the figure doesn't remain still. She moves backwards towards them in a terrifying manner. Would you survive this unholy terror? Or would it be enough to scare you real good? I'd be getting out of that place as quickly as possible. Do you take this ghost bride to be your lawfully wedded wife? I don't. Published by Thiago Ferracao in April of 2022. This ghost hunter encountered a phantom bride that was forcibly married to her husband in this haunted church. This is what happened. As they first enter the church, an unseen force slams the door shut and moves a wooden bench with great force, and then the fun begins. The bride is first seen as they are attempting to communicate with her using a spirit box. Watch the door carefully in the background. A pale figure passes slowly. The pair don't notice it.
Qual era o seu nome?
Later, as they're told to leave, they see the figure face to face. Once they're standing outside the church, the figure is seen standing at the altar. As Thiago walks toward the church doors, they're slammed shut in his face. After watching this scary video, would you say I do? Let me know in the comments. A ghost hunter named Valley Rojas detects paranormal activity on multiple K2 meters and sets up a camera in this living room to capture the action. Somehow this person is able to move all on its own, while 3 other pictures stay completely stationary, 2 on the same wall. I don't see how this could be faked, considering whatever force they would have used to make the picture move would have also caused the ones next to it to move as well. Nothing else happens in the room that I can see, but then again, I don't think I need to see more to be convinced. Still, let me know if I missed anything else move. Number 4. Haunted places. Some haunted places are meant to be left alone. The Old Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada is one of them. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by I'm the Cat Daddy. This video footage explores the Washoe Club in one of the nation's first industrial silver mining cities of the Old West. Prospectors arrived during the mid to late 19th century in order to stake their claim, and with money came the need to spend it. That's where the Old Washoe Club came in, also known as the Millionaires Club. This was a place where anything goes, with one main entrance and 2 secret entrances to keep the VIP's secret shenanigans under wraps. The Washoe Club also doubled as a holding cell for the passed away. At least one room did, as passed on individuals were placed there until gravediggers were able to properly bury. With such a sordid history, of course, myths and legends are abound. 3 ghosts are said to haunt the place. A blonde apparition called the Lady in Blue haunts a spiral staircase. A small ghost girl is somehow lost there. And lastly, a prospector causes trouble around the bar, disappearing drinks that are left unattended, and drinking the shots that the bartenders leave for him when they close for the night. This video doesn't show these full-bodied apparitions, but does unveil a paranormal incident. As the Redditor explains, he and some army buddies decide to explore the Washoe Club for paranormal activity. He writes, "We were told by a few ladies who ran an occult store in Sparks, Nevada, to look out for a dark entity named Steve. He apparently likes to close doors in a room called the Red Room." Though not in this video, during an EVP session in the club, they asked for a name and received Steva in response, and that wasn't the ghost's only response. As one of the bros provokes the ghost and asks it to answer them, a nearby door starts to close on its own. The men start screaming and flee the scene. The Redditor says they all felt Steve's presence in the club, and he continued to slam doors as they collected their gear. They also felt their jackets being tugged on and a finger ran up one guy's back. I was thinking you probably shouldn't provoke a ghost like this, and many in the comments agree with that statement, while others who also investigated the club attest to similar paranormal happenings there. Is this place next on your paranormal bucket list? I think I'm gonna stay very far away from this place. iMade has braved his past through many supernatural situations in the past and expects exploring this haunted place will be no different. He reaches the top without problem. Leaving the haunted building, however, is not so easy.
فهمتش هذه كيفاش وصلت لهنايا؟ هذا بكلمات الله تم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
At 7 minutes and 40 seconds, a shadow person. He loses sight of the figure, but it's back soon enough.
محمد هذا بكلمات الله التامات أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
And if you're wondering why the scream sounded so close, I think it's because the shadow person might have actually been standing right next to him at 11 minutes and 52 seconds to let loose in his ear. Undeterred, the Urbex explorer pursues the shadow person deeper into the haunted place.
هاد المونيكا عاوتاني هنايا وتتحرك اقسم بالله تتحرك. اعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. راه يا الإخوان أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
Creepy dolls are moving on their own, and scary voices are screaming from the darkness. The shadow figure is leading him somewhere sinister.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. شوفوا الخوص شنو هادشي هذا. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد.
Everyone has their limit when it comes to paranormal activity, and iMade seems to have reached his. Alone and outnumbered, he flees the spirits screaming before they make him join their silent ranks. I think that the scream might be an audio sample, because it sounds the same every time, so maybe this video, however bizarre, isn't real after all. A spirit pulls a member of the YouTube team, Kaza Sobrenatural, down a staircase in this scary video. Upon first entering the haunted place, they hear something, and they discover a rope tied to a wooden beam overhead.
A gente acabou de escutar os passos ali. Calma, Der. Tá muito iluminado ali. Normal. E a corda continua aqui, aquela corda, cara, que tinha aqui, ó. Parecia que uma pessoa tava querendo se enforcar. Vai, que...
Is that a noose? As they continue their search of the place, they hear a voice.
Pô, escutou a voz aqui, ó. Aqui, olha lá. Escutou a voz? Credo, Sandro.
They hear something again and start to head upstairs.
Sério, cara, que tu falou? O que foi isso? Meu Deus. Pega uma lente, Sandro, o que foi isso? Vamos lá. Nossa. Não, aqui eu sei, aqui.
But they soon wish they wouldn't have.
Vou sair daqui. Deixa eu pegar. Vou sair daqui. Ô, cara! Que coisa? Ô, velho!
What just dragged this crew member down the stairs? If it is indeed a spirit, I wouldn't be following it downward. It may be leading this team to the fiery depths below. Pipitello's Soul Shorts shares this scary video, whose original source is unknown. Although we don't have context, we can assume this group is touring a haunted place when something unexpected happens.
I don't know. There's no tip on there now, bro. Yeah, I'm getting guys, that's what he said.
That one drop kicked my soul from my body. Although the clip is short and we don't see what causes this mayhem, I think it's safe to say whatever it is out to cause fear. Number 3. Found footage. A YouTuber named More Bad Ideas is riding his bike late at night. He normally would never go out at this odd hour, but he just got home from vacation and he just can't wait until the morning breaks to ride again. It's a decision that he will soon regret. He's popping wheelies down empty streets and old parking lots when he comes across a random golf ball sticking out from a sewer grate. He's amused and throws it around for a bit. It lands in some grass next to something much weirder, a camcorder laying in a wet plastic bag. The camera still has a memory card and some battery life, so he curiously presses play.
Yo. What the f is this? Dude, are you serious right now? Yo, that a knife with blood?
In case you couldn't see the screen clearly, the video shows a woman tied to a chair whimpering. Suddenly, a car puts its high beams on and floors it towards him. He hops on his bike and narrowly gets away. He sees the person chasing him one more time a short while later, and then he barely escapes again. When 4 teens disappeared in August of 2008 in Melbourne, Australia, a local search party discovered this found footage in November of the same year near an abandoned hospital. Shortly after, it apparently began making rounds on Australian news outlets. At the start of the video, the boys appear to be cruising down a highway, then further down a dirt road. At one point, they exit the vehicle, and they think they hear a sound coming from the darkness.
In that area, there's some sounds coming.
They approach a gate with a sign that says private property, no trespassing. They ignore it. They find a hole in the fence and decide to enter anyway. As they're walking along in the dark, they come across a red substance splattered on the ground. Regardless, they continue on, and that's where the footage ends. A walk into the darkness. They were never seen or heard from again. If you have any info on their whereabouts, please visit missingpersons.gov.au. This footage was apparently found inside the Penhurst Asylum, which is a real abandoned place located in Pennsylvania. The footage contains 2 students exploring the clearly abandoned building, and while nothing too bizarre happens in this footage, the backstory and timing are enough to make you scream. The 2 student explorers were never seen again after this. Well, that is terrifying enough. I want you to focus on the timestamp in the corner. Notice how they are ending up in new spots in the asylum at a faster and faster rate. Near the end of the video, the pair end up in the forest at a rate where the speed they are traveling is simply inhuman. What do you think is happening here? If this footage is real, then it is a case where the happenings would never be believed, if not for it being recorded. Reddit, the origin of all things internet creepy. Redditor Kiaha alleges that the link to this video was emailed to her recently, writing, "I have no idea where this tape came from, but it truly does scare me." The video is titled simply One Sept and was uploaded to YouTube by Igor ASD. It shows what appears to be an abandoned building being explored in the dark with a flashlight. After a bit of meandering, the shot comes across a sign that says in Russian, "Museum Work," along with a schedule, likely listing the museum's opening hours. Around 2.5 minutes into the video is where the true creepiness happens. A shadowy figure appears in the shot of a doorway across a dark room. It walks through the doorway and the camera's light goes dark. The screen goes blue. After this, a series of images of a building appear, footage through a peephole, and the film's final image, a still figure in front of a glowing monitor. What is this piece? Could it be found footage? What do you think it is? I think it's certainly scary. Number 2. Unknown figures unveiled. When you go onto abandoned property, don't expect to be the only one there. Published to YouTube by Double Bins in January of 2008, this video will dissuade you from ever entering an abandoned home. The clip shows some adventurers exploring an empty home, or one that they think is empty anyway. The 2-story White House appears to be in the middle of the countryside. As the boys approach it, its big empty windows are like empty eye sockets, giving the house an even more sinister vibe. They enter the house, which doesn't even have a door. It's wide open to whomever dares come inside. The place is an absolute nightmare. It looks as though something tore through the house and destroyed everything in its wake. The oven door is in the middle of the living room. As the boys walk through, the one filming scans the roof, which has a window open to the second floor. That's when they see they're not alone. A figure passes by in plain view overhead.
The roof is off.
Dude, oh my...
Needless to say, the boy who captures it on film immediately flips out, and they both race out of the house and across the field. Whether ghost or human, this is definitely something worth fleeing from. You might want to rethink booking that Airbnb after seeing this scary video posted to the r/ghosts subreddit by Lemonisa. The Redditor writes that spooky sounds during the first night in this rental home in Norway kept waking her and her partner. This prompted her to start recording. This is what she captured. In an upper slanted window facing the living room, a mysterious white anomaly appears. After a moment, the anomaly slowly fades away before completely vanishing. It's not clear if the figure is beyond the window looking in, or something inside the house is being reflected. Some in the comments think it looks extraterrestrial. Others say it looks like a face or hand pressed against the glass. The Redditor mentions in the comments that this house was haunted. She says that they'd be sitting in the living room and would hear random things fall from the counter and strange noises from the basement. She notes that this first night in the home was especially creepy. Would you have the courage to remain a second night in the house if you saw this in the window? I sure wouldn't. What do you see around this corner? Published by Arte Morbid and originally posted on TikTok by Haunted Wesley E. Manor. This short clip is just one more proof that the manor is truly haunted. In a very dusty chamber of the castle, watch the corner of the arched doorway closely. What appears to be the figure of a small boy with glowing eyes peeks out for a moment before pulling back behind the barricade. He seems to be hiding. Is this a ghost or some small kid playing tricks in the castle? Most in the comments think it doesn't look human and call it very creepy. What do you think? I think we are going to be left with more questions than answers for the time being. These flats are supposed to be abandoned, so who is in this window? Posted to TikTok by Scared to Death Zero. This crew is looking around an abandoned encampment at night when they see movement in one of the upper windows. Zooming in, there's no one there, but then they move their flashlight from the window, and the figure again peeks out from behind a curtain. Many in the comments are completely freaked out, while some think it's a squatter. Others are not so sure. They say it has no face. What is this thing? Would you try to find out? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. Creepy face encounters. Next time you're in nature, take a closer look at your camera roll. You might just catch a forest spirit. Redditor I Like Toby Maguire says that he thinks bro wants to say hi in this pic captured at the forest's edge in North Carolina. Do you see it? Look closer. Many in the comments think the spooky face is either photoshopped or is pareidolia. While I could definitely see this being edited, I also think it's possible that it's a bubble floating past, or it could just be the newest, creepiest, scary movie villain. If this photo is real, I'd be staying far away from that forest. There's a face in the wall. Can you see it?
Vad fan syns det?
The eyes are wide and black, and the face is a little more than a tiny frown. Then, after 1 minute and 5 seconds, I think I see a hand appear. They say it looks like the face of a girl, but the youngest daughter swears up and down that she had nothing to do with it.
She wasn't there last time. She never went. She never went, no.
And when, just for fun, they ask the face on the wall if it is the spirit of someone young or old, they get a weird response.
Put a light if you're a young girl.
So is this really a spirit, or just an imprint left behind of a child who stuck their face against a dirty wall? A YouTuber named Eerie Childress is a ghost hunter, using some sort of paranormal software that I'm not familiar with. It almost looks like split-screen night vision, with some sort of enhancement feature on the right. Anyway, Ariane uses the program to capture what appears to be an oversized face, lingering in her window.
No, seriously, I'm like looking at this window, there's nothing out there. It looks like there's a face. That's really creepy.
She says that she's been feeling watched in real life when she turned the app on and pointed it towards the window. Meanwhile, the colors continue to switch from pitch black to a gray discolored face.
Not normal.
Be sure to let me know what this app is and how it works if you have any knowledge. While this man was checking his home CCTV at night, he captured something he didn't expect. Published by Scary Desk in November of 2021, the scary video shows the man setting up his camera and checking that it's angled well in his yard. But as he's doing so, look behind him. A creepy face peeks out from behind a bush in the background. It remains in view even as a car passes by behind it. The face then slowly disappears back behind the bush. A closer look shows the creature's bizarre features. While it looked human from far away, it doesn't exactly look that way close up. Is this being wearing a mask? And why is it hiding? Whatever is going on here, it seems this man set up his security cameras just in time.